Hello, let's talk about a singleton pattern. So in design pattern, the singleton pattern is like one of the popular design pattern we know. So what first of all let's talk about what do you mean by a singleton, right? Singleton means as name you can see we need to create only one instance for all entire application for the class, right? So what singleton will do, it's create one single instance in entire application, right? Now how do we create a singleton, how do we make any class singleton? So first of all we make the constructor private, right? Because whenever we need any class, we initialize that class with using new keyword and its constructor, right? So what do we do? Making the private constructor, right? Now to create an instance of that class once, we need to create one static method of that class which will return the instance of this class. So these are the steps, right? These are the steps to create a singleton class. So if we can see the example, right? So if you can see the spring bin, right? Yeah, they are defaultly singleton. Ignore my spelling mistakes, okay? For example, @service, this annotations, @repositories, repository, this annotation, these are defaultly using singleton pattern, right? And in behind. Okay. Now there is one more example. If anyone use logger to log the errors or log anything in our code or instance, if you can say, if you know about the database connection pool, right? The single pool is for only for whole entire application. We are only using single connection pool, right? Great. So now let's move. There are multiple types we can like create an singleton class, and here we will discuss like how we can create and what is the pros and what is the cons of every types we are creating the singleton class, and we'll see which one is the best. Okay, so let's first start with singleton eager. So as you know, singleton eager, it's normally uh, we are doing what we are normally initializing the class, uh, right? Whenever we are just creating the instance of that class whenever the class loads. That's why just what we do, we just create one static final, we initialize this instance new single class, right? Then there is one method get statics which return the instance. Okay, so what is the pro, what is the advantages of this creation? So if I can say, it's a thread safe, definitely it's thread safe because a single instance of this class has been distributed to the entire all the classes or the services or the entire application. No synchronization needed, right? But what are the cons is, so is if you can say we initializing it, right, whenever the class loads, so it's create an instance even if we don't need that instance or there is no use of that instance. So these are the pros or cons of this method to create an singleton. Okay, now we think, okay, if eagerly we do not create, then let's create it lazily, right? What we can do now, we'll do what? We just do create the instance, right? Create the method, static method to get the instance of that particular class. We first check if my instance is null. It means there is no instance for this class has been created before. So we'll return new instance, or else we return the same instance which is already created. Great thinking. Okay, so yeah, we are going right, right. So, but okay, so what is the pros over here? We don't need to create an like instance even if we don't need it. It will create only when it's needed, and so it will save definitely our memory. What are the cons? Now let's think about it in normal way. So we are using multi-threading, right? So thread one comes, try to initialize the instance of this class using this method, right? At the same time, thread 2 also call this get instance class. So before instance like thread 1 finishing the creation of this instance, thread 2 already call this method. It's already passed this check because thread 1 not created the instance of this class yet. So it will pass this. It will also create the instance of this one, right? So what does this do? This will broke singleton over here because we create two instance of the class. And what does the singleton means? Singleton patterns means we have to create only one single instance for entire application. So here it will not work. Okay, now we can see it's like a thread issue, right? Thread like so we can make it synchronize. Great thinking. Yeah, we can make it synchronize. Yeah. So now what is happening? It will only let single thread to enter in this method and let it to create one instance. Okay, so this issue has been resolved. This in our multi-threading we are calling it race, right? Race issue. Yeah, so great thinking, we are doing it great. Now it's thread safe, right? There is no problem to creating in class. Yeah, but there is one problem. If as a system design, as a developer, if you think in that way, so if we make this method synchronized, so what does it do? We acquired synchronize, right? Every time, even after the instance was created, right? Instance was created, but we acquired a synchronize every time, right? So this one will cause issue when we have to handle the high traffic. For low it's working fine. Okay, it's good, it's fine. But for the high traffic it will be definitely cause our performance. It will definitely create an issue for the performance, right? So okay, so what we can do? Okay, so if we cannot make the class like this method synchronize, then do one thing. Let's lock. Okay, let's lock only the instance is null. Means only when we have to create a new instance, then only we lock it and we use synchronize, right? So here this exactly what I do. I just go for the singleton creating. I will check it is null. Yes, null. What I did, I just lock it in. Now again I check it's null, then I will create the instance, right? This will handle the high traffic. Yes, this will handle the high traffic. Why? We are only locking if the instance is null. If instance is not null, then it will work, right? It will like return the old instance. Okay, great. So is there any problem with this? No, I don't think so. Any problem in this? Is there any problem with the thread 1, thread 2? No, there is no problem with the thread 1, thread 2 because thread 1 first come check, then we lock, means thread 1 lock. Now thread 1 check and then return the instance. While this time thread 2 will check like waiting for to release the lock. Lock is released. Now it's try to check. Thread 2 try to check instance is equal to null. No, it's not null because we know the instance is already created. But only when the thread 2 will know the instance is already created, when we make the instance volatile. Now what is this volatile keyword? So volatile keyword is normally provide the visibility to our instance to all the thread. all thread will know this instance has been created. All thread we know would know the value of this particular instance or variable, right? So this is what is the use of this volatile keyword. Yeah, this is the great, right? Simple, best, right? Thread safe, lock happening, right? Good, but it's little bit complex if you can see. If I can say, it's little bit complex in code to understand it, right? Okay. Now, how we make it more easy and more like uh, readable one? So we just do what? We just create two methods. One is for getting this instance, and one is our class which is returning our the instance of this, right? So this class only runs when this get instance method has been called, right? This one also a very good solution. But what is the best solution all over them? It's the solution which is Joshua Bloch suggested us. It's enum singleton. So now what does this enum singleton do? We do nothing. We just create an enum for that singleton class, or maybe the single whatever we are making, right? We are just do it. We just initialize the enum for that, and we just initialize the method which will return the instance of this which will return the work of this class. As you can see, I commented because I just don't want to create any other extra class to give you this, because this is a simple example. You can here see it's normally public instance, right? We are just doing having some method, and we directly call this singleton, we directly call this method, and whatever logic we have here we can directly use it. What are the advantages? What are the advantages? So just taking example, these are our before classes, right? Yeah, right. So we make the private constructor, right? Right. But in Java there is a reflection. So hacker may use this reflection to call our constructor and create a new instance. This will broke our singleton, right? So how do we handle it? So one way is that in constructor, in private our constructor, we check if instance doesn't null, means instance doesn't equal to null. My instance is not null, and this constructor has been called again. It means hacker is using reflection and tried to create an instance again. So we throw an error. Okay. If I click constructor, okay, let me just do it properly. If I check instance, if instance doesn't equal to null, then throw an error. Great. And okay, now the one based, why I'm calling enum is the based. So this we have to do only for the types, like how we create an instance, the singleton class or singleton method in above. But JVM is automatically prevent reflection. What does it mean? Enum singleton is safe from the reflection. Yeah. So this is it about this reflection. This singleton pattern. I hope you are able to understand what is the use of this singleton and how we can use singleton, how we can declare a class as a singleton class, what are the different types we have to declare the class as a singleton class, and which one is the best, right? So that's all about today. Thank you.